Hello and welcome back to my channel. This is D. Maria Reacts, and I am glad to have you here with me. I got wind of an interesting statement that Dr. Umar Johnson made regarding Kamala Harris. And so I wanted to locate that video and watch it in its entirety along with you guys. So thank you so much for stopping in. So
speaking of Kamala, right? How do you feel about her? Because I know you made a comment earlier saying that she don't claim her black side.
House niggas, just like Barack Obama, they do what they need to do to stay close to the white power structure. She made a career locking up black people. This is the same woman who went on international television, Art, let me remind you, about a year or two ago and said America is not a racist country.
Now, let me preface by saying that I may, agree with some of what Dr. Umar is saying. I may not. But the point of all this is just to hear his viewpoint. And my reaction, I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it hang out. I can tend to be very reserved if I want to. But I'm at home, kicked back, chilling. And so I'm just going to just be. Okay. It's mighty funny how he linked her immediately. Well, I shouldn't say funny because a lot of people are in the know. And he linked Kamala to Barack Obama, which is interesting. And I would have done the same thing, link the two of them. But let's check this out. Let's delve further.
To the white power structure. She made a career locking up black people. This is the same woman who went on international television, Art, let me remind you, about a year or two ago and said America is not a racist country. You want me to go vote for a so-called black woman who went on international television and told the world that America is not a racist country? She spit in the face of the family of Trayvon Martin. She spit in the face of the family of Breonna Taylor. She spit in the face of the family of Michael Brown, Alton Sterling, Philando Castile, Amir Locke, Dante. We can go on and on. Tamir Rice, all the Africans murdered by police, which are state-sanctioned executions. Let us be clear. The police are agents of the state. When the police kills a black person, that is a state-sponsored execution. And in response to all this racism, the execution of George Floyd, this part-time black woman says America is not racist. And when I say part-time, Art, I'm not poking fun at her because she's being mixed race. I want to be clear. I'm poking fun at her because she can rarely be found speaking up for black people. My issue ain't her being mixed race. Nobody's responsible for how they come into this world. My issue with her is not identifying with her people. I remember another interview I saw with Kamala Harris, Art, and she said, somebody asked her, what are y'all going to do for black people? And she said, we can't pass laws just for black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people.
She said this. We can't do things just for black. Well, Kamala Harris, can I ask you a question, Madam Vice President? If the Democratic Party can't do anything just for black people, why did y'all pass a law only for Asians? Why did y'all pass a law only for Native Americans? Why did y'all pass a law only for transgenders? Why did y'all pass a law only for LGBTQs? Why did y'all pass a law only for immigrants? If you can't do anything just for black people, this is what she said. It came out of her mouth. If you can't do anything just for black people, how was it possible for you and President Biden to do all these other things for specific ethnic groups in this country from whose benefit no other group can take anything from? Complete contradiction. Kamala Harris is not for black people. But you know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you why they went that way. Or if they stay that way, they could flip her out. But let's say, for the sake of conversation, because Joe Biden did pass her his nomination, even though it's not his decision. She has his support, but the party got to choose her in Chicago. But let's say Kamala Harris gets the Democratic Party nomination in Chicago the week of my birthday, August 19th, I believe the DNC begins, or the 17th. Anyhow,
I personally don't think they're going to allow anybody to compete against her. If they do, it's going to be all staged and contrived. She is the nominee, so I'm expecting for that DNC, that for that whole program to just be a celebration that she's the nominee, because they're not trying to let people vote on that.
here's why they're going to go that way, Art. Why are the Democrats about to give us the first woman president in American history? I'm going to tell you why. In 2022, there were 10 million more women registered to vote than men in America.
Ooh,
now I'm talking everybody, Art. Black, white, red, yellow, brown, gay, straight, everybody. There were 10 million more women registered to vote than men, even though there's only about 3 more million women than men in this country. Population-wise, there's not a great gender disparity. You only see that when you come to the black community for reasons of extermination, incarceration, okay, miseducation, right, and sexual confusion, right? So outside of black America, the male-female gender balance is almost the same. I believe there's 168 million adult women in America, and there's about 165 million adult men in America. So you only have a 3 million person discrepancy. Now, those 10 million votes, there's 10 million more women registered to vote than men are. Elections have been decided by votes less than 10 million. You've had elections decided by 1 million. You had elections decided by 2 million. You've had elections decided by 3 million. You've had elections decided by 700,000 votes. If there's 10 million more women registered to vote than men in America across all race, colors, and class, if we nominate Kamala Harris as the Democratic Party's president, can she bring us those women votes, those undecided women? Can Kamala Harris bring us all the poor black women, the working class black women, the upper class? Can she bring us the white middle class women? Can she bring us the poor white women? They are banking on, Art, the fact that there's 10 million more women than men registered. And if we stick Kamala Harris out there for us, can she bring us the greater share of those 10 million female votes? Here's what it's going to come down to.
that's very interesting, and that's not something that I knew or that I hear other of the talking heads even speak about. That's very interesting. If you're familiar with my channel, you already know what it is, but I think that is quite interesting. Let's see what else he has to say on this topic.
They are banking on, Art, the fact that there's 10 million more women than men registered. And if we stick Kamala Harris out there for us, can she bring us the greater share of those 10 million female?
I really don't think she can. I am a person that I'm not impressed with Kamala Harris. I know of a lot of women, you know, in my little world, who are not impressed with her. And I would think nationwide there are a great number of women that are not impressed with Kamala Harris, because, you know, since she has been thrust upon us, and thrust upon the people who tend to vote Democrat, it's been 2 weeks and she has not said anything to the media, even though there was an attack earlier this week where some American military people were killed or injured. She said nothing, which shows poor, very poor leadership on her part. How could you not say anything? And on top of that, she's the one that's known for just going all over the country, just cackling and laughing at everything. Yes, she is having the time of her life in that position. But does she care about anyone else? No. She cares about me, my four, and no more. And I think there are a lot of women who are picking up on that during this election. So I'm not impressed. And although the Democratic Party may be making a lot of assumptions, I don't think as many women as they think are impressed. But we're going to see. We're going to see how it all turns out. Let's go back in.
Now votes. Here's what it's going to come down to. Do white women prefer a woman of color or a white man? That's what it's going to do. White American women prefer to have a white man in the presidency or a woman of color? And you know what I think, Art? I'm not completely decided, but I would say to you, wasn't this question already answered for us when Donald Trump took on Hillary Clinton?
Cool.
Did not America's white women choose Trump over Clinton? When it came time for the Electoral College to cast them votes, they went with Trump. So if they chose Trump over Clinton, here's the question, Art. If American white women chose Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton the first time Trump ran against a Democratic female, why would they switch and choose Kamala Harris over Trump the second time? If they chose Trump over a very well experienced, very popular Hillary Clinton the first time, why would they switch and now choose a black woman, half black, half South Asian, half East Indian? Why would they choose a black woman over Trump when they didn't even choose Hillary Clinton over Trump?
He makes an excellent point. I definitely do not agree with everything Dr. Umar Johnson says, but I think he is a very interesting speaker, and he often has very different perspectives that I like to listen in on, because it makes me think. It goes on to say he calls her out for marrying a white man. He's something else. So anyway, but thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video. If you like what you see, hit that like button down below. Leave your comments down there as well. Let me know what you think about what was said. And before you pop out of this video, please hit that subscribe button and definitely hit the bell notification if you would like to be notified whenever I drop a new video. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next time.